ऐसे राइटिंग स्टाइल्स किस प्रकार के होते हैं, कितने प्रकार के होते हैं, ये सब समझना जरूरी है, क्योंकि एक ही स्टाइल के साथ आप पूरा का पूरा ऐसे नहीं लिख सकते हैं। ऐसे में वेरिएशन लेके आना बहुत जरूरी है, एंड ऑब्वियसली दिस इज द ओनली पेपर विच गिव्स यू द लग्जरी एंड द डिस्क्रिशन टू बी एज क्रिएटिव एज यू कैन। अ वेरी वार्म वेलकम टू ऑल ऑफ यू। माय नेम इज कुबेर और यहाँ पे हम समझेंगे आज के वीडियो के एजेंडा को। पहला स्टाइल ऐसे राइटिंग का होता है डिस्क्रिप्टिव, यानी कि आप हर एक डिटेल को जितना हो सके डिस्क्राइब करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। अब वो डिटेल वो किसी इवेंट से जुड़ी भी हो सकती है, किसी पर्सनालिटी से जुड़ी भी हो सकती है, कोई इमोशन हो सकता है, कोई आपसे जुड़ा रियल लाइफ इंसिडेंट हो सकता है, या शायद आपसे जुड़ा ना हो लेकिन कोई और किसी और से जुड़ा हुआ इंसिडेंट हो जो कि फ्रॉम हिस्ट्री आप नरेट कर रहे हैं। सो विच मीन्स कि आप जितना हो सके उन चीजों को डिटेल में डिस्क्राइब कर रहे हैं, एंड ऑफ कोर्स इन अ वेरी क्रिएटिव एंड एक्सप्रेसिव मैनर। नाउ फॉर एग्जांपल, लेट्स से कि आपसे कोई पूछे डिस्क्राइब द फीलिंग ऑफ स्टैंडिंग बिफोर द हिमालयाज फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम। नाउ सर्टेनली दिस इज नॉट द essay topic which will be coming to you, but what would you be writing when somebody is asking you that, okay, what is the feeling I'm having before standing in front of the mountains? Or let's say I'm asking you that, how do you feel standing in the middle of the ocean? So therefore that is something which you will describe, चाहे आपको गूज बम्स आ रहे हैं, चाहे आपको कुछ अनईजीनेस फील हो रहा है, वट एवर इट इज। हम एग्जाम्पल की बात करिए, विच मीन्स कि आप हर एक चीज को, अपनी इमोशन को, अपने सेंसरी टच को, अपनी हर एक चीज को डिस्क्राइब कर रहे हैं इन द बेस्ट वे पॉसिबल। सिमिलरली जब हम कोई ऐसे में डिस्क्रिप्टिव आर्ग्यूमेंट लिखते हैं, तो डिस्क्रिप्टिव आर्ग्यूमेंट में जितना हो सके आपको डिस्क्राइब करना है फाइन डिटेल्स को, बिकॉज अल्टीमेटली everybody would appreciate an essay which is not a very GS centric essay, which is not a very vaguely written essay. Please remember that. Then number 2 is narrative. You see, understand one thing, narrative, ultimately what we're doing, ultimately we're weaving a narrative in the essay. We're weaving a narrative that could be a narrative through a story, through a fictitious story, through a non-fictitious story, through some anecdote, etc. Through your experience, through somebody else's experience, etc. Now understand one thing, that there is an art of storytelling, and you have to engage the reader when you're narrating a story within the essay. Now if it is your own story, let us say you will not end up writing the whole essay narrating your own story. Of course you can write one paragraph in the entire essay narrating some part of the essay based upon your own story. So that is one thing. Or what happens usually is 9 out of 10 times what happens is that we end up giving a third person account. For example, as I was discussing in the class as well, let's say that you're wanting to narrate something about Mahatma Gandhi and you're wanting to narrate something based upon the Champaran Satyagraha. So of course you were not present in the Champaran Satyagraha, right? But you're trying to narrate the people, the events which led to the Champaran Satyagraha and what happened after the Champaran Satyagraha. All right. So for example, let's say the topic given to you is that my journey of discovering the meaning of courage. Now, of course, if it is a personal journey which you have went through, you will be in a position to narrate that what is your journey to discover the meaning of courage. But let us say that you're trying to narrate somebody else's journey towards the meaning of courage. For example, let's say that we talk about Mahatma Gandhi, we're talking about Nelson Mandela. It was a very courageous call for Mahatma Gandhi to adopt a path which was not the norm of the day, the path of non-violence, the path of compassion, the path of truth. But that was courageous enough in himself, the path he followed. Why was that courageous enough in himself? So that is something which you will end up narrating. All right, narrating. And of course, when you're narrating things, please make sure that you're coherent. Please make sure that you're following the correct chronological order. That is very, very important. Structure and chronology is very, very important while writing the essay. Then again, another form is expository essays. Now, expository is to explain and state things as they are, not as how they should be or how as they would be, but as how they are. So therefore, you're not giving any personal bias over here. You're not giving any personal opinion over here. You're being very neutral. You're being objective, and you're supporting this kind of an argument with facts. Of course, within well-structured paragraphs. So which means that let's say that you're writing something about the pandemic. Or let's say you wanting to write something about, let's say if given the topic, somebody is wanting to ask you that explain the functioning of Indian federalism. Now, nobody is asking you that what is your interpretation of Indian federalism, or nobody is asking what is your neighbor's interpretation of Indian federalism. You have to write the functioning of Indian federalism, which means that whatever theory, whatever content you have, you're stating it as per what you have read and as per what it exists. Now, in certain arguments, understand one thing, in certain arguments, nobody is asking you to give an analysis. Now, within an essay, there are different types of arguments which you will write. One of the arguments can be descriptive, one of them can be narrative, one of them can be expository. Now, when writing expository arguments, don't end up giving too much of analysis. For example, let's say that we are writing about Saubhagya Yojana, Har Ghar Bijli Yojana, or we're writing about the Jal Jeevan Mission, or for example, we're writing about the Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana. Well, this type of a technique, expository argument, is excellent when you have to write something on policies, something on theories, something on current events, because you will be stating facts as they are, not as how you would want them to be. All right. Then argumentative essays. Everybody loves an argument. We're all argumentative by nature. Well, there is no harm in being argumentative. Let us say that there is a topic. The topic being given to you is that curiosity is the lust of mind. Well, this is the topic. You might agree with it. You might not agree with it. Well, that's your call. But understand one thing, even if you are taking a stand in favor of the topic, so within the essay, I've always encouraged my students to try to incorporate at least 2 counter arguments. Because counter arguments is something which is not opposing or deviating from the stand you have taken in the essay, but it is only adding another perspective. It is only adding another perspective in the essay. Alright, so therefore this kind of a counter argument becomes very important while writing an essay, because counter arguments will make your essay look very well balanced and also give the other perspective and approach as well. Now, while writing counter arguments, make sure that you're writing in a critical tone, but not in a very revolutionary tone, not in a very aggressive tone, which means that we can be critical about things, but we need to be very, very balanced as well. We are prospective bureaucrats. We are not revolutionaries or Marxist or, Krantikaris or, political activists. If we are so, then let's not prepare for UPSC. Let's do something else. Maybe join politics. And also, while you're giving some arguments, or while you're making the tone in the essay as an argumentative tone, try to support that argument with data, with examples, and also with a philosophical touch if at all you want to. For example, capital punishment should be abolished. Now, why it should be abolished? Do you have any facts with you that capital punishment को abolish करने से ये चीज achieve हो सकती है? Do we have any international perspective कि so and so countries में capital punishment नहीं होता है? Well, if you have, give that thing. Now, let's say that the norm of the day is that no, capital punishment should be there. Fine. But you are taking a stand that capital punishment should be abolished. Why it should be abolished? What are the records of in those countries जहाँ पे capital punishment abolish किया गया है? What is the impact on crime rate? So all these things you have to give in a very nuanced way. You cannot just write and say that, okay, I don't think so capital punishment should be there because, I'm very sympathetic towards people. We are the land of Gandhi, Ashoka, Akbar, and therefore it doesn't bode good for the civilization to have capital punishment. Full stop. No. This is not the kind of argument which UPSC would be looking forward for. So therefore give a very nuanced argument supported by facts and evidences. Then analytical essays. I always encourage this element of analysis कि ये आपने अपने essays में लेके आना ही आना है. That goes without saying, because analysis of a certain dimension or some content which you're doing in the essay, this will help you to deeply explore your argument and also help you to deeply resonate that content with the core essence of the topic. And also when you're, doing some analysis part in the essays, that will also involve the interdisciplinary analysis as well, which means that in your analysis, you're connecting multiple points and multiple dimensions in, one argument. This will obviously end up making your argument and your content more engaging. For example, is globalization reversing in the 21st century? Well, again, if you think it is reversing in the 21st century, what are the pertinent reasons? And how you can analyze those reasons. For example, let us say that, America is turning protectionist. So therefore, we have a point. We have an evidence with us that America is turning protectionist. And therefore, based on that argument, you can elaborate and write and use your analysis that why globalization reversing. Then you can talk about wars happening from Europe to Middle East. Now, in fact, even in Southeast Asia, Thailand and Cambodia. So therefore, based upon those arguments, you can write that, okay, wars are happening, but is it leading to less of global trade? Is it leading to more of global trade? Is globalization under threat because of wars? So you have to base your argument and you have to base your content based upon analysis. You cannot just say that, okay, that yes, globalization is reversing because of Donald Trump coming back to power. That is again a very, very vague way to write. Give analysis. And then philosophical essays. We're talking about happiness, talking about grief, talking about compassion, talking about morality. These are very abstract terms. You can't define what is happiness for you, might not be happiness for the other person. What is sadness for you might not be sadness for the other person. You're sad because you lost some money in the stock market. Somebody else is sad because, you know, he had a breakup with his girlfriend. So again, the common thing is sadness. But somebody has, you know, the sadness because of a breakup. And somebody has sadness because of grief or because of, you know, losing in the stock market. So understand one thing, philosophical essays will demand you to reflect and introspect based upon abstract ideals. Now, when you're writing abstract ideals, well, nobody is saying that you have to write very vague and theoretical arguments. No, you have to be very subtle. You have to give a very mature reasoning. You have to be very introspective. And of course, you have to be very, very logical while writing such arguments. All right. Now, for example, all ideas having large consequences are always simple. This is one of the topic which had come in the 2024 paper. Fine. All right. Now, clear cut, it means that, okay, all ideas having large consequences, whatever idea which had a large impact, initially it was a small idea, and you know, ideas are always small, but they end up making large impacts. Well, of course, I mean, if you think that just by writing half a page or 2 pages of philosophy, and you think that, you know, just writing just 2 pages of interpretation of this topic, it will do the job. No. What UPSC is expecting is, UPSC is expecting that how you have interpreted and reinterpreted the meaning of this topic by various examples, by various facts, by various data in your essay, and therefore you have to reflect philosophy in your essays using some examples and anecdotes, which is also justifying the philosophical essence of the topic. All right. Now, for example, I'll quickly share with you this is one of the PYQs, one of the topics which had come in the UPSC PYQ essay. The cost of being wrong is less than the cost of doing nothing. All right, that we might be wrong, we might be right. Of course, we start a venture, we might end up failing in that, we might end up losing some money, etc., etc. But fine, at least we started, at least we did something better than doing nothing at all. So the cost of doing nothing, I mean, very expensive. The cost of being wrong, very less, because what ultimately might happen if you end up doing something wrong? You will end up failing. That's it, fine. But at least better than doing nothing at all. Now, for example, अगर यहाँ पे introduction देना है, so I will use a narrative and a philosophical. This is just a very hypothetical and a very, very, you know, like example based thing what I'm saying. You can use as many examples, whatever content you might want to use. I'm just trying to tell you and explain to you that how you can use these different kind of arguments in the essay. So let's say इंट्रोडक्शन में हम यहाँ पे बात करते हैं कि जो यूरेनियम कार्बाइड का जो डिजास्टर हुआ था भोपाल में दिसंबर 1984 में. सो ऑफ कोर्स मतलब ऐसा तो नहीं है कि सरकार को पहले वार्निंग नहीं दी गई थी. सरकार को रिपीटेडली बहुत बार वार्निंग दी गई थी कि वो कुछ हो सकता है, कैटास्ट्रोफिक डिजास्टर हो सकता है, इंडस्ट्रियल डिजास्टर हो सकता है, लेकिन द गवर्नमेंट डिड नॉट एक्ट बिफोर ऑल्सो. द गवर्नमेंट डिड नॉट पे हीड टू द वार्निंग्स बिफोर ऑल्सो. एंड व्हाट हैपेंड? The cost of inaction happened in what way? Thousands lost their lives. Now, this is something which is a narrative argument which we are giving, right? Based upon the tragedy which happened in Bhopal. However, यहाँ पे again हम एक philosophical argument डाल सकते हैं that life, leadership, science and morality ये सब वो domains हैं जहाँ पे अगर आप inaction करेंगे और अगर आपको इस बात का डर है कि मैं inaction इस करके कर रहा हूँ because मैं गलत हो जाऊँगा, because I'll be wrong, then of course you are doing more harm to yourself and also to the other people as well. So when you're in a position of leadership and also in life as well, you will be doing justice to yourself if you're trying things, not doing inaction just because of that, because of the fact that okay, I'll end up failing and you know I will not do anything. And then of course आगे जाके अगर हम paragraph की बात करें, so of course in the paragraph of the essay, let's say the paragraph 1 of the essay, you can write your argument in a very expository and analytical manner. एक्सपोजिटरी मीन्स कि आप यहाँ पे कुछ फैक्ट्स दे रहे हैं, कुछ आप यहाँ पे डेटा दे रहे हैं, कुछ आप यहाँ पे कंटेंट लिख रहे हैं बेस्ड अपॉन द फैक्ट कि वो चीज़ें जो एग्जिस्ट करती हैं, नॉट दैट आप यहाँ पे कोई आप पर्सनल बायस लेके आ रहे हैं. फॉर एग्जांपल आप यहाँ पे एक एक्सपोजिटरी आर्ग्यूमेंट दे रहे हैं कि इकोनॉमिक्स में रिस्क तो देखो नेगेटिव बात नहीं होती है, और देखो रिस्क तो आप इसको रिस्क हाई रिस्क भी कह सकते हैं, लो रिस्क भी कह सकते हैं, जो कि बात सही है, और रिस्क तो होती है. अब ये इसमें कोई पर्सनल बायस तो नहीं आया ना, ये कहना कि इकोनॉमिक्स में या धंधे में या बिजनेस में, व्यापार में कुछ ना कुछ रिस्क हो सकता है, इसमें कोई पर्सनल बायस तो नहीं आया. दिस इज समथिंग व्हिच इज अ स्टेटेड फैक्ट, व्हिच इज अ रियलिटी. So the entrepreneurs who fails in a product launch, he can still learn new things, he can still learn to innovate and launch that product in a much better manner. But the one who never launches anything, and because of the fear of failure, he will not end up learning anything. He is not an entrepreneur if he is not launching anything new. सो अंडरस्टैंड वन थिंग, यहां पे ये जो मैंने आर्ग्यूमेंट दिया है दिस इज एक्सपोजिटरी. व्हाई? बिकॉज दिस इज समथिंग जिसमें मेरा पर्सनल बायस नहीं आया है, इसमें कोई एनालिसिस वाली बात नहीं आई है, ये बात हकीकत है, सच है. दिस इज समथिंग विच इज बेस्ड अपॉन एविडेंस, राइट? दिस इज समथिंग विच इज लाइक अ प्रिंसिपल. एंड देन ऑफ कोर्स यहां पे एनालिटिकल बात आती है. एनालिटिकल बात आती है जैसे कि फॉर एग्जांपल यहां पे हम एनालिसिस कर रहे हैं इस आर्ग्यूमेंट का एक और आर्ग्यूमेंट के साथ, जहां पे हम पैंडेमिक की बात कर रहे हैं कि पैंडेमिक आया, हमने नेशनल लॉकडाउन हमने लगा दिया. अब लॉकडाउन क्यों लगाया? बिकॉज अगर ना लगाते तो वो इनएक्शन होता. सो परहैप्स वो लॉकडाउन लगाना हो सकता है कि गलत काम था. बहुत लोगों ने क्रिटिसाइज किया दैट कि लॉकडाउन लगा दिया, इकोनॉमिक एक्टिविटी कॉन्ट्रैक्ट हो गया, क्या जरूरत पड़ती लॉकडाउन लगाने की, ये वो एटसेट्रा एटसेट्रा, बट वो लगाना जरूरी था. सो देयरफॉर इंस्टेड ऑफ not doing anything, we did something, which was the lockdown. Now that might be wrong or right, that is something, which history will judge us, but at that time it was very important to save the lives of the human beings. So therefore the cost of inaction might have been much more than the cost of doing something wrong, which was probably doing a lockdown. And then again paragraph 2, अब यहाँ पे argumentative का हम argument लेके आ रहे हैं, जहां पे हम बात कर रहे हैं और distinguish कर रहे हैं based upon the errors of commission and the errors of omission. एरर्स ऑफ कमीशन यानी कि आपने कुछ काम किया और इंटेंशनली और अनइंटेंशनली वो काम करते करते कुछ गलती होगी. या एरर्स ऑफ ओमिशन यानी कि आप कुछ उसमें आपके सामने काम आया लेकिन आपने वो काम आगे, ये ब्यूरोक्रेसी में काफी होता है कि आपके पास कोई फाइल आई, नहीं यार इसका अप्रूवल मैं नहीं दूंगा. क्यों? अगर मैंने दे दिया तो मेरे ऊपर केस पड़ जाएगा, सीबीआई इंक्वायरी हो जाएगी, हाई कोर्ट में मुकदमा होगा, सुप्रीम कोर्ट में जाएगा, ईडी आ जाएगी, सीवीसी आ जाएगी, एटसेट्रा एटसेट्रा. So therefore most of the bureaucrats they end up not doing anything because कि भाई अगर हम कुछ करेंगे तो हमारे ऊपर backlash कर सकता है, and delayed decisions that definitely impacts policy making, and this mindset is very damaging, right? And for example अगर हम cyclone Phylon की बात करें which had hit Odisha, like so many people were under a lot of threat. So now the Indian government, we had to evacuate more than 1 million people. Now let's imagine one thing that if even if like we didn't end up doing this thing. So for example we had the forecast कि भाई साइक्लोन हिट करने वाला है, that is why we have a remote sensing satellite जो कि हमको बता देती हैं कि कहीं फ्लड आने वाला है, कहीं साइक्लोन आने वाला है, and based upon those inputs हमारी जो NDRF और SDRF की टीम्स हैं, डिजास्टर रिस्पॉन्स टीम्स जो हैं वो काम करती हैं, वो एक्ट अपॉन करती हैं. सो अगर हमारे पास कुछ इनपुट आई है और हम एक्ट ना करें, ये सोच के अगर हम एक्ट करेंगे तो हमारे ऊपर कोई एक्शन आ जाएगा, हमारे ऊपर चीजें बैकलैश कर जाएंगी, सो दैट विल एंड अप causing an impact on the human life of so many individuals. All right, so therefore understand one thing, the argument is very clear that inaction under the pretense of caution. Now when you know that a cyclone is going to be hit, when you know that एक जगह पे flood आने वाला है, तो you will obviously act, you will not have inaction over there because वहां पे कॉशन क्या होगा? बिकॉज अगेन अंडरस्टैंड वन थिंग, वहां पे अगर आप कॉशन के पर्दे के पीछे आप कुछ एक्ट नहीं करेंगे तो ऑब्वियसली यू विल एंड अप so many lives can be destroyed, so many lives can so many people can die. So therefore inaction under the pretense of caution often causes more suffering than timely but flawed decision. So चलो ज्यादा अगर हम साइक्लोन के टाइम पे अगर प्रोडिक्शन करिए कि साइक्लोन आ सकता है, नहीं आया तो कोई बात नहीं, हमने कम से कम 10 लाख लोगों को इवैक्यूएट तो कर दिया. अरे अगर आज आता तो वो 10 लाख लोग कहां जाते? अगर हमने इवैक्यूएट कर लिया और चलो साइक्लोन नहीं भी आया तो कोई नुकसान तो नहीं हुआ ना. ऑलराइट, अक्रॉस ऑल डोमेन्स, आप साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी में चाहे गैलीलियो की बात कर लो, चाहे हम पब्लिक हेल्थ में अर्ली डिटेक्शन ऑफ HIV एड्स की बात करें, राइट, या चाहे हम एजुकेशन रिफॉर्म्स की बात करें. अब अगेन यहाँ पे एनालिटिकल आर्ग्यूमेंट्स हैं, ये सब बातें सच में हैं, ये सब बातें फिक्शन नहीं है, ये बातें सब सच में हैं जो हुई थी. हम इन आर्ग्यूमेंट्स के हिसाब से एनालिसिस कर रहे हैं. अंडरस्टैंड वन थिंग दैट इन एग्जाम्पल्स के जरिए मैं क्या प्रूफ करना चाह रहा हूं, इन एग्जाम्पल्स के जरिए और इसके एनालिसिस के जरिए मैं ये प्रूफ करना चाह रहा हूं कि ये जो सब एग्जाम्पल्स हैं, ये जो सिचुएशंस हैं, ये जो सिनेरियोज हैं, ये रेजोनेट करते हैं विद द कोर एसेंस ऑफ द टॉपिक. ऑलराइट, अब गैलीलियो को परसिक्यूशन फेस करा बिकॉज ऑफ हिज हीलियोसेंट्रिक थ्योरी. वेल, ही कुड हैव सेड कि चलो मेरे को अपनी जान बचा के रखनी है, मेरे को क्या जरूरत पड़ी है कोई थ्योरी बनाने की, अननेसेसरी में लोगों की नजर में आऊंगा, लोग मेरे को मारेंगे, बट उसने तो वो किया. He stood by what he believed in to be true. He gave his heliocentric theory for which he was persecuted. The clergy, the churchmen, the people from the church, they were very against this theory that no, whatever Galileo is saying is wrong. But I mean, he wasn't deterred by that. He still gave what he wanted to. So understand one thing, agar the cost of being wrong than the cost of doing nothing at all. So therefore let's understand one thing that ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा क्या होता कि गैलीलियो की जो थ्योरी थी वो गलत हो जाती, गैलीलियो की जो जान थी वो व्यर्थ में जाती, फाइन. लेकिन he wanted to prove a point that look, I am right, my conscience knows that this theory is right, I want to put forward this theory in front of the world, I want to put forward this theory in front of the people जो अभी superstition और church की clergy को follow कर रहे हैं. So understand one thing, in all these examples, please go through the PDF and you will be able to connect the dots and understand that in all these examples हम यहाँ पे क्या establish करना चाह रहे हैं. हम यहाँ पे dichotomy लेके आना चाह रहे हैं, cost of doing nothing versus the cost of being wrong through different type of arguments. वो narrative भी हो सकता है, वो expository भी हो सकता है, वो analytical भी हो सकता है, right? वो argumentative भी हो सकता है. All right. So on a concluding note, let's also understand one thing. दैट अगर एक फार्मर जो कि बेचारा वेट कर रहा है कि उसको सब्सिडी मिले और उसको सब्सिडी नहीं मिल रही है और इसी करके वो अपना आउटकम नहीं दे के आ पा रहा, उसको फार्म सब्सिडी नहीं मिल रही है, राशन की सब्सिडी नहीं मिल रही है और इसी करके वो अपना आउटकम नहीं अचीव कर पा रहा, तो यहाँ पे इनएक्शन वो फार्मर का नहीं है, इनएक्शन ब्यूरोक्रेसी का है. अगर एक औरत जो कि पुलिस कंप्लेंट दर्ज करना चाहती है एक पुलिस स्टेशन में, वो पुलिस स्टेशन तक पहुंचती है लेकिन वहां पर अंदर नहीं जा पाती है बिकॉज शी फियर्स दैट अरे यार कहीं मेरे ऊपर ही ना केस कर दें, तो ये जो इनएक्शन है वो औरत का नहीं है, ये इनएक्शन ब्यूरोक्रेसी का है. सो अंडरस्टैंड वन थिंग, यहाँ पे एक फिलोसफिकल नोट पे हम इस आर्ग्यूमेंट को एंड कर सकते हैं कि एंग्जाइटी इज द डिजीनेस ऑफ फ्रीडम. सो अगर आपने कोई कंटेंट बनाया है, कोई आपने वीडियो बनाया है, आप उसको पब्लिश करना चाह रहे हैं, तो आपको एंग्जाइटी हो रही है तो ठीक है, वो एंग्जाइटी होनी भी चाहिए. बिकॉज वाई? क्योंकि आपने कुछ किया है, तो वो एंग्जाइटी नहीं है, दैट इज लाइक अ नर्वसनेस विच यू हैव. बट जो कुछ कर नहीं रहे हैं, हु आर जस्ट लाइक वॉचिंग एंड क्रिटिसाइजिंग एंड कमेंटिंग अपॉन पीपल एंड नॉट डूइंग एनीथिंग, तो असली में तो एंग्जाइटी उनको हो रही है ना, बिकॉज दे आर नॉट डूइंग एनीथिंग. So understand one thing, that the cost of them doing nothing at all and just sitting and commenting and criticizing on your videos or in your content or on your work or anything is therefore giving them anxiety, not you anxiety. So understand one thing, that on this note, on a certain philosophical note and also on a descriptive note, you can end the essay with this argument. But understand one thing, the purpose of all these arguments. Descriptive argument का purpose क्या है? अब ये descriptive argument है कि फार्मर को अपनी सब्सिडी नहीं मिल रही है, औरत पुलिस स्टेशन तक पहुंच रही है लेकिन वो पुलिस स्टेशन के अंदर जाके कंप्लेंट नहीं लिखा पा रही है, या एक स्टूडेंट है जिसको स्कॉलरशिप मिलनी चाहिए थी लेकिन नहीं मिली है बिकॉज उसका पेपर वर्क कंप्लीट नहीं हुआ है. तो ये डिस्क्रिप्टिव बातें हम बता रहे हैं जहां पे इन एक्शन इज नॉट हैपनिंग ऑन द अकाउंट ऑफ द पीपल कंसर्न बट ऑन द अकाउंट ऑफ ब्यूरोक्रेसी. एंड यहां पे फिलोसफिकली हम इस नोट पे आर्ग्यूमेंट एंड कर रहे हैं दैट लुक, इनएक्शन जो लोग एक्ट अपॉन नहीं कर रहे हैं, हु आर जस्ट जजिंग पीपल अपॉन दोज पीपल आर एक्टिंग अपॉन, तो असली में उनको एंग्जाइटी हो रही है दैट व्हाई आर पीपल एक्टिंग एंड डूइंग थिंग्स. So you see, there are different types of arguments which you can use and approach this essay. ये मैंने examples बहुत ही cursory तौर पे यूज करे हैं. Of course, इसके अलावा और भी examples आप यूज कर सकते हैं. The idea was just to let you know that what are the different type of arguments which we can use. Alright. Now दोस्तों, हम बहुत ही elaborate तरीके से essay writing को समझते हैं, art of essay writing को cultivate करते हैं हमारे foundation course में, जो कि केवल 4999 के प्राइस पे अवेलेबल है. अगर आप जुड़ना चाहते हैं और ऐसे राइटिंग को अपना स्ट्रेंथ बनाना चाहते हैं, which I believe you would want to, if you want to score good marks in the essay, which is anywhere above 130 marks, so then this is the course which you have to join. Not need to join, but which you have to join. Please call on the toll-free number to get more details. I'll see you very soon. Thank you.